He always believed his wife was nothing, not because she lacked kindness or intelligence, but because she didn't fit the image he wanted to present to the world. Maya was quiet, gentle, and rarely spoke unless spoken to. She didn't wear expensive clothes, didn't boast about her background, and didn't demand attention. In Philip Danvers' world, silence meant weakness, and simplicity meant worthlessness. That night, the ballroom of the Plaza Hotel glittered with wealth and power. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above well-dressed guests who laughed loudly and clinked glasses filled with champagne. Philip stood at the center of it all, confident and proud, surrounded by investors and influential people. He was admired, respected, and celebrated. A few steps away, Maya stood alone near the wall, holding a glass of water, trying not to draw attention to herself. Her dress was simple and modest, bought years ago, clean but ordinary in a room full of designer gowns. People passed by Maya without noticing her. Some assumed she was staff. Others ignored her completely. She was used to this. At these events, Philip rarely acknowledged her. He said she should stay quiet so she wouldn't embarrass him. Maya obeyed because she believed love meant patience. She had spent 2 years supporting Philip, standing behind him, cooking his meals, ironing his shirts, and tolerating his mother's cruel remarks. She believed that if she tried harder, he would love her the way he once claimed he did as the evening went on. Maya tried to move through the crowd to find the restroom. Her thoughts were heavy, her chest tight. While walking, she accidentally bumped into someone near the bar. A glass tipped, and red wine spilled onto a white jacket. The music stopped, and conversations fell silent. Maya's heart dropped as she realized everyone was staring. Before she could apologize, Philip appeared. His face was filled with anger, not concern. He grabbed her arm tightly and raised his voice. He accused her of being drunk, of embarrassing him, of ruining everything. Maya tried to explain, her voice shaking, but Philip wouldn't listen. His words cut deeper than the stares of the crowd. In front of everyone, he told her she didn't belong there. Without hesitation, Philip dragged her toward the exit. Guests watched in silence as the heavy doors opened and cold rain poured in. He shoved her outside onto the wet pavement. Maya lost her balance, her heels snapped, and she fell hard. Rain soaked her dress as Philip stood over her with disgust in his eyes. He told her she was nothing, a burden, a mistake. Then he turned and walked back inside, leaving her bleeding and shaking in the rain. Maya sat there for a moment, stunned. The physical pain in her knee was nothing compared to the emptiness in her chest. People walked past her, some staring, some whispering, but no one helped. She slowly removed her broken shoe and stood barefoot on the cold sidewalk. Philip believed she had nowhere to go. He believed she was alone, but he was wrong. Inside her small purse, Maya found a folded piece of paper she had kept hidden for years. It held a phone number her mother had given her long ago, just before her parents died. Maya had never called it. She had been afraid. But that night, with shaking hands, she dialed the number. A voice answered on the other end. Maya introduced herself and said her name. There was a long silence, followed by urgency. The voice told her not to move and to stay exactly where she was. Less than 20 minutes later, black luxury cars pulled up in front of the hotel. Security surrounded her as an elderly man stepped out of the car. He looked at Maya, and his hard expression melted into shock and grief. He wrapped his coat around her and held her tightly. He told her she was his granddaughter, that her name was Maya Rutherford, that she wasn't an orphan, that she belonged to one of the most powerful families in the world. Maya's entire life changed in that moment. The truth she had never known finally came out. Not long after, Maya returned to the ballroom, but she was no longer the woman who had been thrown out. She walked beside her grandfather, wearing a stunning gown and a diamond necklace that caught the light with every step. The room fell silent as people turned to look at her. Philip stared in confusion, unable to recognize the woman approaching him. When Maya spoke his name, realization hit him like a blow. The crowd gasped as her identity was revealed. The investors who once ignored her now bowed their heads. Philip learned that the company keeping his business alive was controlled by Maya. In front of everyone, she ended the deal that could have saved him. His future collapsed in seconds. In the weeks that followed, Philip lost everything. His company failed, his reputation was destroyed, and the people who once admired him disappeared. He tried to blame Maya, tried to paint himself as the victim, but the truth was stronger than his lies. Maya didn't seek revenge. She simply walked away with her dignity intact. 1 year later, Philip stood outside a luxury restaurant working as a valet. His hands were red from the cold, his uniform worn and tight. He parked cars for people who lived the life he once had. One night, a black Rolls-Royce pulled up. Philip rushed to open the door, doing his job without looking up. When he did, his breath caught. Maya stepped out, calm and radiant, holding a sleeping child in her arms. Beside her stood her husband, kind and confident. Philip whispered her name, his voice full of regret. Maya looked at him for a moment, then shook her head gently. She said she didn't know him. She stepped into the car and drove away without looking back. Philip stood there in the cold, holding a tip in his hand, watching the life he lost disappear into the night. He finally understood his mistake. He hadn't thrown away nothing. He had thrown away someone priceless. This story is a reminder that kindness should never be mistaken for weakness. Silence does not mean worthlessness, and the people we choose to disrespect today may be the ones who rise tomorrow. In the days that followed the gala, Maya stayed at her grandfather's estate, a place so large and quiet it felt unreal to her. Wide halls, soft carpets, and walls covered with memories she never knew existed surrounded her. Servants spoke gently to her, always asking what she needed, but Maya struggled to answer. For years, she had learned to need very little. Now, having everything offered to her felt confusing, even overwhelming. At night, sleep came slowly. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Philip's face twisted in anger, heard his voice calling her nothing, felt the cold rain soaking through her dress. She woke up shaking more than once, clutching the blanket like it was the only thing holding her together. Her grandfather noticed. He never pushed her to talk. He simply sat nearby, reminding her she was not alone anymore. Harold Rutherford told her stories about her parents, about the love they shared, and how hard they fought to protect her. He spoke about the day she was lost to the family after an accident and how they searched for years. Maya listened quietly, tears rolling down her face. realizing that the loneliness she had carried was never meant to be hers. She had been loved all along. She just hadn't known it. Slowly, Maya began to understand the power she now held. Not just money, but choice. For the first time in her life, she could decide where to go, what to do, and who deserved access to her heart. She started therapy, something she had never been allowed to consider before. Each session helped her untangle the belief that she existed only to serve others. Each conversation gave her back a piece of her voice. Meanwhile, Philip's world was collapsing faster than he could control. His company bled money daily. Investors withdrew. Employees resigned. The media turned on him, painting him as arrogant and unstable. He blamed everyone but himself. At night, alone in his expensive apartment, silence screamed at him. Maya's absence felt heavier than her presence ever had. He tried to call her. The number no longer worked. He sent emails that bounced back unanswered. He even went to the Rutherford offices, hoping to plead his case. Security stopped him before he reached the door. For the first time, Philip felt small. The feeling terrified him. Maya finalized the divorce quietly. No interviews, no public statements. She refused to destroy Philip publicly because she no longer needed to. Walking away was enough. Signing those papers felt like exhaling after holding her breath for years. She wasn't angry anymore. She was done as months passed. Maya slowly stepped into her new life. She didn't rush into luxury or attention. She learned about the businesses connected to her family, listened more than she spoke, and earned respect through patience. People were surprised by her calm authority. They expected arrogance. Instead, they found empathy. Maya treated assistants and executives the same way. That was where her real power showed. One afternoon, she visited a charity supporting women who had experienced emotional abuse. Listening to their stories felt like looking into mirrors of her past. She spoke softly, honestly, without pretending she had always been strong. For the first time, her pain became purpose. Helping others heal helped her heal too. Philip's fall continued. His apartment was sold. His car repossessed. Friends who once laughed beside him crossed the street to avoid eye contact. Eventually, he took the valet job just to survive. Every car he parked reminded him of what he lost. Every smile he forced reminded him of the ones he used to fake. He thought about Maya constantly. Not the woman he insulted, but the woman who stayed silent, who waited, who loved him when he offered so little in return. He finally understood that her silence had been patience, not weakness. But understanding came too late. Maya met her future husband unexpectedly. He wasn't impressed by her wealth or her name. He listened when she spoke and waited when she needed space. He never raised his voice, never made her feel small. With him, Maya didn't need to shrink to be loved. She could exist fully, openly, and safely. When she became a mother, she promised herself one thing above all else. Her child would never grow up believing love meant pain. She would teach them kindness without sacrifice, strength without cruelty, and confidence without arrogance. The night Philip saw her again, standing beside that car, he felt something break inside him. She didn't hate him. She didn't cry. She didn't even look angry. She simply didn't see him anymore. That was the punishment he never expected. As the car disappeared, Philip stood there long after his shift ended, staring into the empty street. He finally understood the truth that success had hidden from him. People are not measured by how loudly they shine, but by how deeply they endure. Maya had endured everything, and she had risen without ever becoming cruel. Her story spread quietly, not through gossip, but through the lives she touched. And wherever she went, she carried herself with calm strength, knowing that she was never nothing. She had always been enough.